Let's talk about alchemy and your choice in what you decide to create. It is currently 1:51 a.m. I hope you enjoy this. Let's talk about this, okay? Firstly, all is a choice. You must be aware that you have a choice. And if you're here with me, you're already aware. One thing that I realized after my kundalini awakening, because I damn sure didn't know what was going on, but something that I realized was that you have a conscious choice, okay? You're taught to do this when bad things happen, when people betray you, when people use you, when people outcast you. You've been hurt by your parents, neglected, rhymes with caboose by your parents, okay? Mom or dad, doesn't matter, or your caregiver, all right? You're taught to take that. You're told to suppress that. Not even told, you're taught suppression. You're taught to let it go, okay? And what that does is it creates this shadow that you're burying deep, deep, deep inside of you, where it's moist, and it starts to root and grow and fester inside of you, because that's what you're conditioned to do. Let it fester. Cover it up with religion. Be the good girl. Be the good girl. Suppress. I used to be there. I used to be a people pleaser. I used to do outrageous things for people who didn't or wouldn't do those things for me in return. It wasn't reciprocal. And that's how energy is it's supposed to be an exchange. Okay? I used to go out my way to do things for people, and I wouldn't speak up for myself. Sometimes I would do things for people before I did for myself, like things that really needed to be done. I needed rest. I would give up that rest to go serve. And in the end, landed me in the hospital, but also landed me within this kundalini awakening. Anyway, back to the shadow, my loves. You're taught to suppress all of this, be the good guy, okay? I can't tell you what to do because of free will. What I invite you to consider is turning this energy into something beneficial. Turning your pain into power, this dark energy, this energy that is unexpressed, that's in your gut, that's festering. Let me talk about spell work really quick, because I've talked about it on this channel, okay? Spell work is just a manipulation of energy, okay? A witch is a wise woman who's just manipulating the energy to get a certain outcome or close to the outcome that she desires. But I want to remind you, because Spirit showed me personally during my kundalini awakening what people were trying to do to me that I'm no longer attached to, what the matriarch of that family was trying to do. And what happens is, when you decide not to transmute your own pain, say you go the route of spell work, right? You don't know how heavily protected people are, baby. And instead of dealing with your own darkness, your own demons, healing your trauma, past trauma, and you decide to hurt someone who is heavily protected, baby, it is not in your best interest to do so. Instead, transmute that energy. You feel fear because you did somebody wrong? Don't put some spell work on them, because you're going to get effed up. I'm saying that with love, okay? Not even the person, the spirit world is going to F you up because that person is highly protected. Don't do it. Don't do it. But anyway, Transmute the energy. You have a choice in creation. Something bad, unfavorable, what you deem as unfavorable, what you deem as bad is happening to you. These feelings of your past, like I said, your parents hurt you, your caregiver hurt you, you've been hurt by a partner, a friend. Transmute this energy into power, into purpose, something that is beneficial or will be beneficial to you. Also, I invite you to stop suppressing. I think I touched on that a couple minutes ago. It is not in your best interest to suppress things. There's a movie called Woman in the Yard, and I always get chills when I think about it. I really, really love this movie because it's like a psychological thriller, and what's going on is that it kind of looks scary because there's this woman in the yard. This is such a beautiful movie. There's a woman in the yard, and she's dark mother, she's dark goddess, essentially, okay? And they make her look really scary. They make everything black look scary. That's another trick. That's another trick. And if you are an indigenous person or a person of color specifically, you should be the last person calling something evil, because that's what they say about us, baby. That's what they're portraying, that darkness is evil. And if you are of the darkness, my melanated person listening, if you are, baby, you're the last person to be talking about something is evil. That's another spell they cast on you. But back to the movie Woman in the Yard. There's a woman in the yard, she's black, and she's in all black, and she keeps getting closer to the property, and you think it's an entity, you think it's something scary. But what you realize later on in the movie is that this is her darkness. These are the things that go bump in her night. Why? Because she gave it life. She chose not to allow it to be expressed, not to confront her darkness. Depression, anxiety, all the bad things that have happened to you, the trauma. You suppress it. You go about your life like nothing is wrong, and it's suppressed. You made a conscious choice not to confront this thing, so it grows and it festers inside of you. I used to be there, and you're running from it. This woman in the movie couldn't even, oh my goodness, it was hard for her to even stay on board with taking care of her children. Okay? Another thing that she consciously created, whether you like it or not, whether you believe that or not, even if you claim, oh, it was a mistake, it was an oops, baby. We don't do oopses. That's not the type of beings that we are. They make it seem as if that is the case, but it is not. There is no coincidences. Everything is on purpose. Anyway, you guys, this so-called entity started to consume her. The darkness was consuming her. The big hands were coming over and consuming her. And she was running and she was running. She finally stopped running. And the so-called entity actually embraced her and held her and essentially told her, you've been running from me. It's time to face me. And it was something that happened with her, the way that her husband passed away. She felt immense guilt for this. Never confronted it head on. Just allowed this to fester and grow. It took root inside of her. So it brought her into this, we'll call it a psychosis, because she didn't confront. Now, if you're going through a psychosis, please see a doctor. However, I think you should watch this movie, Woman in the Yard, okay? My time is almost up. I love you so much. Take care of yourself, love yourself, nurture yourself. If you feel like you're going to cause harm to yourself or those around you, please seek out help. Okay? But confront the ugly things that you fear of confronting, and you can do that with a professional. And love on yourself. Love yourself so that you can love and understand others.